Save Jason, please.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, we do need to save Jason. We got a stacked show today, though, boys.
We do.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you.
We're going to get started with Todd Monken. So, of course, Saturday, Todd pulled this old switcheroo.
Yeah.
And made a quick decision to have Deshaun Watson run with the ones instead of Shedeur Sanders. What's your thoughts on that before we get to the explanation of that decision?
Well, apparently it was communicated to at least Deshaun Watson because he
apparently both quarterbacks knew before.
Both quarterbacks knew. So ultimately, it was a non-story that obviously became a massive story. Now, in my opinion, it was not. It was a stupid thing for Todd Monken to do. What is the benefit to lie? I know people are going to say, and I saw Earl say this, and he's right essentially on Twitter, where you said like he doesn't owe anything to the fans and he doesn't owe anything.
Do you want me to tell you why he did it? I'll tell you exactly why he did it. Because if he comes out Friday, and he says Deshaun's going to get the first team reps today,
right?
The next 17 minutes are going to be questions about, well, why is Deshaun getting the first team reps? It was supposed to be Shedeur's day.
Right, but
so he just avoided that.
But so what? But then he got those questions the next day anyway.
Yeah, but it was 2, and then it was over.
Oh,
and his answer, like the first part about like
we have the quote. We should read the quote for everybody.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you want to take it, Earl, well, you could read it.
It really was that Shedeur took the one Saturday, so I anticipated him being with the ones. When I walked out, the guy grabbed me and said, "Hey, the last couple of days we've been looking at it, and Shedeur's got a few more reps with the ones." That's all it was. I wasn't even at the moment. I was like, yeah, sure, we'll flip it, and then next week we'll go the other way. I sure as hell wasn't thinking about coming back in here to tell you guys I was changing my mind, because I really don't have to. Being the head coach, I can do that. Okay, but so he's claiming
the first 3 quarters of that answer is nonsensical.
Oh, so you don't buy that?
No. All he has to do is say, I'm the head coach. I changed my mind.
I like the way the guy, he goes, the guy. Who's the guy? Yeah.
Right.
So if he purposely lied, I just think that's stupid and pointless. He seems to have no problem answering questions. He's good with the media, so what's the big deal?
I think.
And by the way, why
Jason
would he
nailed
get
it on the head?
No, but who cares? Why does he care if he gets questions? Why would he get 17 minutes of questions? I'm the coach.
He gets them now.
Okay.
If you shake
so
up
then
the
name
order,
a starting quarterback, Jason, and stop whining about it.
Hey.
You've been waiting 40 years for a job. You got it. I don't care that he switched it. It was no big deal. People overreacted to it. The reaction to it was absurd, as is everything else with this quarterback competition. And I say it in air quotes because it hasn't been very good. But, like, I just don't see but he's claiming he didn't lie, that he changed his mind. You don't buy that?
No.
Okay, well, I just think that's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't think it makes him a bad coach or anything. I just think it's pointless.
If you believe Mary Kay's reporting of the timeline of the situation, they had told Deshaun Watson before Todd spoke to the media.
Oh, yeah, so that's right. So he's lying there.
He's lying. And guess what? To Earl's point, he owes the media, he owes us nothing. I agree with you. I don't see overall benefit.
I do push back at that a little bit.
No, Jay and I joked yesterday. Coaches, executives, players, agents,
they lie all the time.
They all lie. But this idea listen, part of the reason the sport is as popular as it is because of the media that covers it.
Yes.
Okay? So, they don't owe us anything technically. But, like, this and guys lie, but lying about this is stupid. Not being honest about who's taking the reps is just dumb.
But I think he did it, to Jason's point, to avoid the entire press conference being about that one
I don't buy that it would have
decision.
been. If it wasn't the next day, why would it have been that day?
Because it's over and past.
Later. It was 2 days
But
later.
so
he wasn't talking again till Monday.
But
before
everybody
practice.
was still talking about that. That was still a big story amongst Browns fans.
Yeah, but as soon as he comes back and says, today's Shedeur day, he's getting the ones, and then Shedeur goes out there and actually gets the reps with the ones, it's over. It's done. It's forgotten
All
story.
I'm saying is that if he had said, hey, we're switching, if he had said just what he said there, hey, listen, Shedeur's got more ones, we're going to give some, we decided to stay with Watson today, I don't think there would have been 17 minutes of questions. And even if there was, so what? Is your life so hard you can't answer 17 minutes of questions? What's the big deal?
You're not looking at it
just
the way
be honest.
But you're not looking at it the way the head coaches look at it, or the way that the pro sports people look at it. They don't want to sit there and answer 15
I just don't buy that it would have been 15 questions.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, I'm with Jason on this one.
If he would have said this,
every question would have been about.
Does this mean Deshaun's in the lead? Does this mean
I think
you
I
have a starting quarterback in mind? Does this mean Shedeur hasn't been up to snuff?
Then why didn't they ask it 3 days later? It was just as important a story.
They did ask it 3
But
days
they
later.
got
But you said they asked 2 questions.
Well, they got the he gave his answer.
Okay, so he
But
could have
because
given the answer.
It's 48 hours later.
Right, but if he would have given that same answer, how many questions could have been asked? And
Don't
by the
underestimate the ability
by the way,
to ask the same thing.
He
15
could have just
times.
said, I've answered the question. I'm not going to answer any more about it. Like, I just think it's stupid to lie.
I don't disagree
I
with
understand
that premise.
I understand there are times where coaches and executives and players have to lie.
Yeah.
Or feel like they have
Yeah.
to lie. This just seems stupid to me.
I don't disagree with
Yeah.
what you're saying.
It's just pointless.
At all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right, and I think we're also like you're not wrong in the sense that he probably shouldn't have lied, but I understand why he did so to avoid all the follow-ups
No.
that come along.
The
With
I
first
just-
3/4 of that answer
Yeah.
was nonsensical.
Yeah.
The only thing he had to say yesterday was, I changed my mind. I'm the head coach. I don't have to tell
That's
you
it.
guys.
Yeah.
That's it.
He's the head coach. That's what, at the end of the day, that's
Yeah.
all that matters. He is the head coach of the Cleveland Browns, and if he
Yeah.
wanted Deshaun to get more reps with the runs for whatever reason,
Of course. So
then
you
he has
just
every
said
right
that.
to. And if he
So
wants
just say that
Shador
in the
to get more
beginning.
reps, he has every right to. He is the head coach. He owes, and once again, in the grand scheme of things, the
Yeah.
media helps make the sport so popular.
Yeah.
We cover it to lengths that I could never have imagined the sport being covered. But he
Yeah.
doesn't owe it to the fans. He doesn't owe it to the media to tell. If he changes his mind, he changes his mind. So be it. That's okay.
It's not about owing anything. It's about why not be honest when you can be. There's no advantage to lying there. What is the point of lying? I don't buy this that he's going to get that he lied to avoid a couple of questions.
We're gonna have
I mean,
Zach
come
on a
that's
little
just
bit, and
stupid.
Zach will be able to
That's
chime
just
in when he
stupid.
joins
Why don't
us.
we just bring in Zach right now? Because I want to know his answer on this. No,
I mean, Bull is pretty passionate about that, and
Yeah.
I love the passion and I appreciate it. I'm with Jason. The first part of it, I don't buy it. I don't believe that after he spoke to the media, he went back, somebody grabbed him and said, hey,
Yeah.
this is the rep count, and I'm changing my mind. I think
Yeah.
practice has been very organized and very structured.
Yeah.
They went into the situation with a plan the entire time.
right.
And to my knowledge, Shador Sanders was already warming up when Todd Monken was finishing up his press conference. To me, it boils down to this. As long as you're not compromising your integrity with your players in that locker room, then handle us however you want to handle us. I've grown to learn that they're going to tell you some lies, and this will not be the last time that Todd Monken tells us one thing and goes out
Well-
there and do another.
Well, but this.
So for
Go ahead.
me,
Go ahead. Yeah.
I just look at it like this. As long as the players knew what the plan was, what the switch was, whatever, and everybody went out there and did what they needed to do, I'm fine with it. I think Todd has this attitude that's very old school. I'm 60. I ain't got time for this. I'm probably frustrated with the media, answering all these repetitive questions. I'm here to coach my football team and try to put a winner.
No, part of his job is answering questions.
That is part of it.
He's got an easy life. He's a football coach. There's people that work for a living. We got easy jobs too. Okay, you're a football coach. You're not curing cancer. There are times where you got to lie. Fine. He could be honest there. There's no reason to lie in that situation. It's just stupid. To me, it's just stupid. And
So when you realize that
yeah,
if you're taking Mary Kay's report by the word that Deshaun and Shador both knew an hour before Todd spoke to
Yeah.
you, that's when you changed your hook, because you started this saying, who really cares? It's the timeline now.
no,
that you have an
I
issue with.
don't care in terms of. I don't think it's. I'm just annoyed that he lied because there was no reason to. Because he made it a bigger story than it had to be. You guys are saying he did it to avoid questions. I think if anything, he would have gotten. If he would have just been honest about it, I don't think it would have been a story at all.
I think it would have been more questions.
I don't know. I don't agree. But the point is, like, it's just so. There's been a number of times on this show where a coach or a GM has said something, and somebody and I remember specifically once G. Bush saying, "Well, I'm going to take the coach at his word." And fans say this to me all the time. Why don't the coach said this? Why don't you believe it? So I'm going to bring this up as an example going forward. That we know they
Yes.
lie. I don't trust anything a coach
Yes.
says. So
Yes.
if we don't owe them if they don't owe us anything, I don't owe them anything. I owe the players nothing.
Yep.
I owe the coaches nothing. I know they like to think we owe them things. So fine, because they're all sensitive. Because you could say 99 good things about somebody.
You say one
say
bad thing.
one bad. They will never say, you know what? Thanks for supporting me. But they're going to whine and cry, and they're all wimps about it too, because they'll never directly tell you to your face. In most cases, maybe to Jason they'll directly tell it to his face, but in most cases, They won't tell you if they're annoyed at something you say. They'll try to pretend you don't matter or whatever. They'll say they'll be sneaky about it. They're all gutless. So I don't believe, from now on, don't tell. If your argument going forward ever again is, well, the coach said it, so it must be. The coach said this. The coach likes this guy, like that. I don't believe anything. Everything to me, I'm assuming is a lie.
Remember how they weren't trading Miles?
Right. They weren't going to trade Miles. Right. Right. They weren't going to trade Miles. So everything I'm going under the assumption from now on that every single thing they say is a lie, without exception. Because if Todd Monken is going to lie about something so stupid, beyond stupid, if he's so soft that he can't handle a couple of questions from our soft-ass media, about the quarterback. By the way, you want to end those questions? Name a starting quarterback, Todd. How about that? How about that? Keep it simple. Name a starting quarterback, and then you'll get no more questions.
Yeah, well, it'll just be different questions.
Oh, my God. He had to answer 17 minutes of questions. How will he survive?
I'm just telling you how it goes, man. I've been doing this a long time. I know how these things work.
These guys like to pretend they're so tough. They are so soft and so sensitive. I'm getting called fat, racist, and all these horrible names every day. I don't care. I come back out the next day and I give my honest opinion all the time. I don't lie to you, ever. I never lie to my audience, ever. Every day, you liberal cuck this. Every day, you're fat. You're 600 pounds. You die. You're racist. You hate Shador. I get it every single day. Do I block people? No. I haven't blocked somebody in years. Do I not look at my mentions? No. Because I got a lot of fans that actually like me, and I want to be able to respond to them, and I care, unlike a lot of other members of the media. I'm not soft like Todd Monken. That being said, it's a non-factor. The stories are nothing. The story itself is a nothing, and fans getting all worked up that Shador was a. And by the way, if this is a soft launch, as Jay said, on Deshaun Watson being the starting quarterback, because I think Jay said that yesterday.
Jay did say that.
That's even more clown behavior. Don't do soft launches. Well, if they've decided Deshaun Watson is starting, then just start him.
Well, Todd Monken has said that Deshaun's going to start a preseason game.
Yeah.
Shador's going to start the next. This first preseason game is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Deshaun's going to start the first preseason game. They're not going to put him out in front of the home fans and let him get booed in a preseason.
Oh, God forbid he got booed. How would he survive the day?
So Deshaun, I would be shocked if he's not the starter for the first preseason game, and Shador's not the starter for the second preseason game. So in terms of soft launching, this very well could have been a soft launch towards the first preseason game. Is that an indicator of who's going to be the week one actual starter?
Yeah.
Who knows? I have no idea.
Anything,
but I'd be shocked if Deshaun's not the week one preseason
If it
starter.
is a soft launch, that's embarrassing. Okay? The quarterback, clearly, neither quarterback has been good.
Mm-hmm.
So all these Twitter geniuses that go to practice and think they're experts, they're wrong. Because if there was...
that was Zach Jackson's hyena laugh out in the corner in case anyone can't see.
Because if either one of them had been any good, they would have been named the starter by now, wouldn't they?
I would assume.
So, boy, I got a question.
Yeah.
Todd Monken also said that when he gets ready to name a starting quarterback, he'll let us know. Do you believe him?
No, nothing. I believe nothing. I'm no longer believing anything. My default setting is going to be you're lying. I'm assuming you're lying if you are, because God forbid you should answer questions. I mean, that Cleveland Browns beat, they're just grilling. That Scott Petrak. And all, I love Scott Petrak. He's the first name that popped in my head.
Scott's a good guy.
Scott's a good guy. But is he grilling people over the coals?
He asks good questions.
Scott asks good questions. I don't mean to pick on Scott.
Stop putting me on sets with Bull.
Stop being such a wuss. I'm just kidding, Scott. I'm not blaming you. I'm just saying, it's not like you're grilling them for these hardest questions. It's not Scott. There's nothing to grill them about.
Stop saying Scott's name.
Sorry, Scott. Daryl Ryder. Is Daryl Ryder grilling people? Is anybody grilling people? If I were there, I wouldn't be grilling people either because there's nothing to be grilled about. It's not your fault that the team doesn't have a quarterback. You're not the general manager. You're not the dopey owner. Oh, I'm sure somebody's going to be all aggravated about me calling him a dopey owner. But he is. He's the worst owner in sports. He's traded Myles Garrett and Giannis, and he was laughing about it in the press conference. My dad, he told me that I traded the 2 guys in 3 months. I ripped off all the... I shouldn't go down that road. All right, we'll take a break. I'll calm down. I don't know what the hell we're talking about next, but I think it has to do with the Cavs. These guys are worked up because the Cavs are not playing on Christmas Day. Nobody wants to watch the Cavs outside of Cleveland. They're completely unwatchable. It's not my fault. Sorry, I'm not going to lie. Coming up on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show.